Welcome to Podnutz Daily for January 26, 2009, episode number 139. I just got back from vacation, back to the show from vacation. I didn't really go anywhere on vacation. I'll talk about that later. Let's talk about some good tech stuff, and then I'll tell you what I did on my vacation later. First, I want to talk about some stuff that happened today and yesterday. Malwarebytes. Okay, it's the program I like to use. It's one of our main programs we use in the shop for getting rid of spyware, malware, that kind of stuff. And I was trying to run it on a system today. And here's what happened. It was a Dell. What was the system? It was a Dell. What the heck was it? Let me think here. God, I can't remember what kind of computer it was. Anyway, it was filled with spyware, viruses. It had some nasty new spyware thing that tried kind of like XP antivirus 2008, 2009, and now 2010, but it was something named different. I can't remember what the name of it was. Anyway, try to run Malwarebytes on that computer. Every time I was able to install Malwarebytes properly, installed just fine. Was I able to get the updates? I think yes, I even could get the updates. But no. Scratch that. This is a different system. I couldn't get the updates. Every time I tried to run and start Malwarebytes, it would run for about 3 seconds and then stop. So every time I started it, it would run for 3 seconds and then close down. So the malware was preventing Malwarebytes from running. Now, I consulted my dad on this because he's been doing most of the malware and virus removal on these systems. And he said, just change the name of the exe file from, I think it's mbam, which stands for Malwarebytes Anti-Malware Setup or whatever it's called. No, just mbam, I think it's. And I just changed it to bam. So I got bam. I changed the name of it, ran it ran fine, got the updates, did its thing, removed the spyware, and pretty much cleaned the heck out of the machine, just Malwarebytes on its own. And then I was able to just make sure the system was totally clean, but running Malwarebytes by changing the name of the exe file will allow you to run that program in some cases where the spyware is stopping you from running it. Now, there's another problem that you have when you try to install Malwarebytes. This was happening on a system my dad was working on today, where you can't even install it. The malware won't even let you install it. In fact, there has been the times where we go on a machine where every time we even go to malwarebytes.org, it kicks us off of that. So the spyware is trying now to stop us earlier and earlier in the process of trying to remove it, where it won't even let us go to the website to download the software. Well, that has happened, but then we're able to, say we have our software on a flash drive or something. We bring this flash drive over, try to install the program, it won't even install. Now, in this case, there's different ways to fix it. One way is to change the name of the installer file from mbam setup to whatever you want, something else. Sometimes that works. This didn't even let that work. So in this case, we had to go a little deeper, and we did some research online and found a program called Trojan Remover. I don't know who makes it. By running Trojan Remover first, we were then able to install Malwarebytes and get rid of everything. Trojan Remover is not a free program. I think it's a 30-day trial or something like that on it. But running Trojan Remover first allowed us to then install Malwarebytes. Everything was fine after that. Had another pretty interesting system on a Dell Inspiron laptop B130, I believe. Again, spyware, that type of thing. The system had McAfee installed, McAfee Internet Security Suite, and that was running. One of the problems that the customer had was she could not go online with Internet Explorer. So we tried her Internet Explorer. We tried to go online. Wireless would not go online. We tried wired. It did go online when it was wired. We tried Firefox wired. Firefox worked wired. We tried Firefox with the wireless signal. Firefox worked with the wireless signal. The only thing that would not work is Internet Explorer on a wireless signal. So if you use the wireless card and you're trying to open up Internet Explorer, it would not work. But wired, it worked fine. So, gosh, we did all kinds of things. We ran Winsock XP Fix. We upgraded Internet Explorer 7 because it was only version 6, I believe. We reset all Internet Explorer settings in Internet Explorer 7 in the Tools menu. What else did we do? We uninstalled and we reinstalled the wireless drivers. We made sure the wireless card was working properly. We switched over the wireless card from using the Dell configuration utility to using the wireless Zero configuration utility. Everything we could think of. Still could not get online with Windows. We checked to see if the IP addresses were static and that whole thing, the TCP IP was set properly. Everything was fine. It just would not go online with Internet Explorer. So what we finally decided, we even went into McAfee, turned off the McAfee firewall, because McAfee's firewall was stopping it from happening. It still did not work. Finally, we said, let's just uninstall McAfee and see what happens. Uninstalled McAfee, it went online, no problem. So it maybe was a setting in McAfee that was causing that to happen, but I'm not going to go digging through layers upon layers of McAfee's crap. I mean, I turned off the firewall and that didn't even work. So it was definitely a McAfee problem. Uninstalled McAfee. I believe she bought Norton Antivirus 2009 after that, and that's what was the problem with that system. Spent all that time, and it was just McAfee messing up the works. So you could say, yeah, McAfee might be messing up the works, but it's protecting your system. Yeah, but it's protecting your system at the expense of you can't even go online. So of course you're going to be protected. Another strike on McAfee in my book. What else do we got here? Had a system. Now, I hate these systems. It happened today. These systems leave me with this feeling in my stomach. It's just a bad taste in my mouth. And this was a nice DV6000, one of those white, shiny HP laptops with the silver keys. Has all the inlaid like graphics on the case, and it looks real nice. And what was happening here? This machine, he had dropped this machine and broke the power jack on this machine. He couldn't use the AC adapter anymore, but he still was able to use battery power. So he used battery power until the battery died, and then he put it on a shelf for like 3 months. Then until he had the money to bring it into me. So I finally brought it into me, said this thing was working fine, power jack broke, and I ran the battery till a battery was real low, and then I couldn't run it anymore because I couldn't charge the battery, so I put it on the shelf for 3 months. It needs a power jack. So I'm like, all right. Now, I've talked about it in the show before. I love to use, when I do a power jack repair on a laptop, I love to use the size N power jack from Radio Shack. And it's one of the, I don't know the exact model number. I've talked about it before. You could look it up. It's the one where it actually has a nut on the end of the jack. You actually screw it in to the case of the laptop. That's what I do. You screw it onto the case of the laptop. Instead of just mounting it on the motherboard, it makes much more secure connection. And then I just solder leads from the jack to the motherboard using wires. So you have some flexibility there as well. So it's a great, way of doing power jacks. I think it's a more heavy duty way than the manufacturer does it. Plus, on the DV6000, that jack fits in there like a dream. It's perfect fit, solid. It looks good. It works good.